Hey everyone, this is going to be the first video in a new series called Scary Software. If you like the video, go subscribe and make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss the rest of the videos in the series. With that, let's get into episode 1. I don't even know where to start with this. I've debated sharing it, but maybe getting it out there will help make sense of what happened. Or at least stop it from causing any more sleepless nights. I'm a software engineer. You know, the kind of person who's used to solving problems by writing code, creating high-level security protocols designed to predict and neutralize digital threats before they even happen. It's rewarding work, but for the most part, it's pretty mundane. After graduating college, I took a job with a very small company that operated out of a small office building in a really dingy part of town. It was the owner, me, and a coworker who was younger than me, and to be honest, I'm not even sure if he went to college. We worked out of a small room, maybe, 30 by 30 feet, and I was often in the office alone. The pay wasn't great, but the job came with a lot of flexibility, and we were even able to take our own contracts. But I took this one contract, and it still sticks in my memory. The project was advanced, and I was definitely in over my head. But being a young, broke, fresh college grad, I took the job without much hesitation, and I still regret that decision to this very day. Anyway, at first it was regular coding quirks, little things. Glitches that seemed like nothing more than a result of long hours. Any programmers reading this know exactly what I mean. But things kept happening. Things I was sure I got right. A variable renamed itself without me changing it. Still, it was something small. Something I ignored and chalked up to being tired. After all, back then, I was literally running off of sugar-free Red Bull and cigarettes. Eventually, though, I almost couldn't ignore it. Entire functions that I knew I had commented out kept reappearing in the codebase, untouched as if they'd never been removed. It wasn't just one or two lines, entire blocks of code. I deleted them, confirmed they were gone, and then the next day, boom, they were back. I figured it was some kind of rollback error, maybe a sync issue with the version control, but the system was air-gapped, completely offline. There was no network connection. Nothing could have been pushing that code back in. No matter how much I tried to troubleshoot, I kept coming up with nothing. I want to mention by this point I was still under a lot of stress. The client was requesting updates nearly every day, and I had to lie, telling him that we were on track and I would meet his incredibly tight deadline. The issue continued, and eventually I decided to check the security cam footage from my office. It clicked. My colleague must have been playing a joke on me. After all, we frequently messed with each other. And yeah, we did get into trouble a few times. But when I checked, the footage had gaps. I mean, entire chunks of time were just missing. Blank screens. Black voids, covering hours at a time. Even still, I managed to convince myself it was just my error, or someone playing a trick on me. After all, there were technicians at the office who were working on the cameras a few days ago before, and remembering this, I thought it must have been a related issue. Before I gave up, though, I decided to watch the live feed, hoping to catch the issue in real time to get some idea of what was wrong with the system. At least that way I could tell my boss in the morning. But what happened next, I remember clearly to this day, and I even remember the knot I felt in my stomach when I saw it for the first time. So, basically, the screen flashed just once, and I watched the monitor closely, careful not to blink so I wouldn't catch the issue. And then, it happened. A single error message appeared in white text over the black screen. Undefined observer. At first, I thought I had too many Red Bulls and I was seeing things, but no, it was real. I'd never seen an error like this, and plus, it didn't even make sense. An undefined observer? What does that even mean? Who was the observer, and what was it watching? I remember a chill running up the back of my spine, and I felt like I was being watched. I was all alone in the room, with only the glow from my monitor and a dim streetlight coming from outside the window. By this point, I was pretty on edge. I decided to wipe the drive entirely, the full system. I deleted every partition, every file. I thought for sure that would do it. My heart was racing as the process begun. It was loading really slow. But then the terminal froze, and a new error appeared over the frozen UI. Do you remember writing me yet? To be honest, my heart felt like it was sinking, and without hesitation, I just ripped the power supply from the wall, completely killing the monitor and the whole system. I don't know, it really freaked me out, and I still think about it to this day. I guess looking back on it, the worst part was I had to call the client and tell him that I was in over my head with the project, although I left out the true details. Sometimes, even now when I'm alone coding at night, I can imagine the display freezing and that error message popping up. It still gives me chills. The thing is, I don't really know what it was. Maybe it was just a crazy glitch, or maybe it was my coworker pranking me. But for some reason, I've always felt it was something different, and to be honest, it really scared me. I guess all I can do now is hope I never see that error message again.